Hello, hi, I'm Punita here from Huawei Global Training Center. And today we're going to discuss about the topic troubleshooting cell unavailable faults. This is part 3. So let's look into the case for an abnormal RF resources. So what is the fault description? After a cell is activated, a command was executed and there was an output displayed. So this was the output displayed from this particular command when they activate the cell. Allocate RRU resource fail. So when they try to activate the cell, they receive the message. So when they diagnose the cause, the RF channel related alarm, including VSW1 and RF unit maintenance link, they found RF unit maintenance alarm. So OM personnel determined that the fiber connections were incorrect according to the alarm information. So this was the main cause of the particular message that mentioned that allocate RRU resource fail. So that is due to the wrong fiber connections on site. So the next case, it could be related to limited capacity or capability. For this case, the cell failed to be set up if the required capacity or capability is limited on the software and hardware. So the possible cause could be related to license capacity or capability, which may be limited. So how do we check? So this is a case for limited capacity and capability. So based on the fault description, the output after executing the command display cell, they found that there was a message on fail to obtain the cell license. So if there is a case on this, we might need to check the cell license info. So let's look into the display cell command. So basically, this one is the platform where we use the MAE platform, and this is the MML command section. So we're going to check the display cell command. So display cell. So for this case, the cell is not configured. So you wouldn't see any feedback over here. So when we diagnose the cause, the cell failed to be activated because abnormal license. So the next case, we have to also check the license information. So in this possible cause, license may be abnormal. There is no license installed at all. All right, and the cell configuration may exceed the license capacity. So in this case, we have to list cell and display license info and make a comparison to see whether the capacity has exceeded from the license or not. So let's check these two commands. So we're going to display the license info. So this one is license info. So from the license info, the modules are divided into a few categories. So basically, these are the modules. So we have the operator index, the operator name, the model, and the description. And we have the allocated unit. So this will indicate the capacity, and we can see how many have configured to your site and what is the actual use and what is per unit. So basically, if the one that already allocate and the already configured is enough and you want to add in more extra, then it is considered like the capacity has been limited already because it's too much. So over here, there are many unused allocations here because most of the configurations are 0. So this is just a sample, but basically we will try to compare with the license to the allocated configured mode. We also can list the cell to check to confirm whether is there any cell configured over here at this for this particular site. So the next command is list cell. So list cell, in this scenario, there is no cell configured. So there is no matching results is found. So this is just an example. So kindly take note of the commands that we have run. Display license, info, and list cell. So next we move on to the next case, which is related to faulty hardware. So the fault description about faulty hardware is that board fault alarms are reported. Alternatively, cell unavailability faults cannot be rectified after resetting, powering off, or reinstalling the faulty board. So possible cause the fault occurs can be in the main control board, which is your UMPT card, LBBP, baseband unit board, RF unit, or other hardware, for example, subrack. So how you handle the hardware fault? So basically, when you start, you will collect some fault into the alarm browser MML command. So we may not need to run all this command to gather more information. So the commands are related to display board, display RRU, display board version, display VSW1, and display CPRI port. So let's look into this example. So first we will display the board. So these are the boards that has been configured. Display board. We have LBBP, UMPT, fan, UPEU, and MRRU. Next is display RRU. So there is one RRU configured, MRRU. We will display the board version. So when we display the board version, so you can check the board's software version, hardware version, boot ROM version, and the operation results. So each of the type of the board, they have their own software version, hardware version, and their boot ROM version. Next, let's check the display VSWR to see whether got any VSWR issue. So this is the VSWR information. At the moment, it is not measured. One more command is display CPRI port. So these are the information that you may need to collect while troubleshooting the hardware fault. So these are the CPRI fault, CPRI information. So basically we can see what are the ports activated and what are the important fibers which are installed. Not in position means they are not activated. The one which is in position is the one which is activated at the site. So they have the SFP module type, they have the administration status, CPRI bitrate, and some other information which is relevant. So after collecting the useful information, you also need to observe the panel indicators, rectify, determine the fault area, and try to handle it. If still the fault cannot be cleared, we may need to contact the Huawei project team. So we have to observe the panel indicators. This one has to be done on site. So we have to check the LED lights here to see whether it's working or not. Run alarm and activate. And also the blinking part at the LBPP site. So we have to monitor the LED lights for each of the board here to see whether it's working or not. Q&A session, true or false. Display board is an MML command to query the status of the board. The answer is yes. Second question. Cell unavailability faults cannot be rectified after resetting, powering off, or reinstalling faulty boards. The answer is no. The summary of this section on the troubleshooting cell unavailable faults are: we discussed about limited capacity and capability. Mainly it was related to license, faulty hardware fault handling procedures, and we also able to observe the panel indicators on site at the board level. That's all from me. Hope you enjoyed the session. Thank you. Bye.